Hello, my name is Mike Ward. I'm the Global Director of Content at Informa Pharma Intelligence Insights. That includes the likes of Script, Pink Sheet and In Vivo. We're here in Stockholm at the Bio Europe Spring Meeting where pharmaceutical, biotech companies, investors and a whole bunch of other sort of service providers are all getting together to have conversations, to do deals, and basically get a sort of a sense of what's actually happening in the industry. So I'm joined by Dr. Graham Lumsden, who is the CEO of a London-based company called Motif Bio, and it's in the infectious diseases space. Infectious diseases, or particularly antibiotics, has been an area that actually has had a bit of a comeback. Your company's relatively new, but you've actually got a late-stage asset, Iclaprim, which is in phase 3?
Yes, Iclaprim is in phase 3, and we just announced that we've dosed the first patient in our phase 3 program. So that keeps us on track to complete the 2 pivotal trials, second half of 2017. And then because Iclaprim has been designated something called QIDP by the FDA, stands for Qualified Infectious Disease Product, that applies a number of incentives to Iclaprim, one of which is accelerated review by the FDA. So assuming we can get the NDA in end of 2017, FDA has 6 months to review that NDA. So middle of 2018, we should be ready to commercialize Iclaprim.
Okay, so how was the company created in the first place, and then how did you get this late stage asset? Because everybody wants late stage assets.
Correct. So I joined Motif Bio about 2.5 years ago. We were a preclinical stage company working on compounds such as Iclaprim and other dihydrofolate reductase inhibitors. And we were finding it very difficult to attract investors as an early stage company. And so through our network, we were introduced to the former CEO of the company that had originally developed Iclaprim. And we came together. They found that we had an excellent scientific team that knew all about this space. They were looking for a partner to take Iclaprim into phase 3, and we put together a merger transaction which closed upon Motif listing on AIM in April last year, 2015. So upon listing on AIM, closed the transaction. Motif now owns the worldwide exclusive rights to develop and commercialize Iclaprim.
Right, and sort of fundraising. What sort of money have you guys raised in that period?
Yeah, so as I said, we just came to AIM April of 2015. We've raised about $40 million since April, so we're well capitalized today. We have 2 pivotal phase 3 trials underway, about 1,200 patients across about 160 trial sites, United States, a couple of Latin American countries, and several European countries. So we're very, very well funded today, which is a good thing the way the markets are right now.
Well, yes, of course, you probably went at the right time as well.
We were very fortunate to get out last year.
To raise the money. So, and that in the use of proceeds statement in your registration documents, what did you actually sort of say that you were planning to, what did you earmark that $40 million for?
Yeah, so that was more than enough to get us started in recruiting the first patient and getting us into phase 3. So now what we're focusing on is exactly what do we need to build the company into a sustainable growth company, because we don't want to just stop with the 2 phase 3 trials that we're currently doing, which are targeting an indication called acute bacterial skin and skin structure infections. That's the most common gram-positive hospital infection in most countries. We also would like to be able to do hospital-acquired bacterial pneumonia. Iclaprim concentrates in lung tissue after it's been administered intravenously. We think that's a really good indication. We also have an oral formulation that we'd like to bring forward. So one of the reasons that we publicly disclosed a couple of weeks ago that we've partnered with a team called the Fulford Group based in London is that because we're a hospital-focused company, we think we can legitimately and credibly launch ourselves in the United States. It's about 200 to 250 reps would get us access to around the top 50% of hospital infectious disease physicians. But it doesn't make sense to us to build sales and marketing capabilities outside the US. So the Fulford Group, based in London, headed by Wilder Fulford, who previously headed up M&A at Deutsche Bank, for example, has been tasked with finding us a commercialization partner for Iclaprim outside the US. It may be one for the rest of the world, it may be somebody for Japan, a different company for Europe, different for Latin America. We need the guidance of the Fulford Group to help us figure that out. And the goal is, of course, to find a deal that comes with an upfront payment as well as milestones and royalties.
And that would be, they would have the rights, or you would sell the rights to Iclaprim for all indications, or just for the sort of the ABSSSI?
Yeah, it would be very difficult to try and split out indications. So the commercialization rights would, we assume, be for the molecule Iclaprim.
Okay.
And I think it's attractive because in addition to having the 10 years of market exclusivity in the US, we also expect to get 10 years of what's called data exclusivity in Europe, based on our phase 3 data that we're generating right now. And many other geographies around the world also come with NCE, new chemical entity, exclusivity periods.
Right, okay. So Iclaprim is clearly your lead asset. Are there any other assets in the company at the moment?
In the company at the moment, we have a number of programs that we've been previously working on from a medicinal chemistry perspective. Those right now have been shelved because we want to make sure that we're getting the most value from our investors' capital today, so it's all going into Iclaprim. We have medicinal chemistry programs that we can look to bring back in as we move forward, but most likely the next piece that we'd like to do to build the company is to acquire one or more other novel antibiotic assets that are in the sort of phase 1 space or IND ready. That we think is the sweet spot. So we have 2 active programs where we're doing diligence right now at potentially novel antibiotics in that IND phase 1 space.
Right, and so this is a partnering meeting. So are you here to find partners, commercial partners for Iclaprim, or are you looking in your sort of search and evaluation for new assets that you can bring into the company?
Yeah, so there's 3 main objectives for us to be here this week. This is really an excellent conference to get exposure to the European marketplace. The first objective is we're a brand new company. Prior to April a year ago, nobody had heard of us. Everybody had forgotten about Iclaprim. So we're looking to build awareness of what Motif is all about and what Iclaprim is all about. And that can be particularly important for potential commercialization strategic partners who would take the ex-US rights. Second reason is to look for potential other novel antibiotic companies who might be a good fit for us to build our portfolio. And then the third objective is, of course, at some point in time in the future, we will want to continue to seek investors who see the value in Motif and see the value in Iclaprim. So again, by building the awareness of who we are, what Iclaprim is all about, we encourage investors to follow us as a public company and perhaps participate in the future.
Right, okay. Well, Graham, I really appreciate you stopping by and explaining this to us.
Thanks, great to meet you, Mike.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you.